Goosebumps! I'm gonna cry. I know. So I know this lovely lady as a fierce-tapping, high-kicking, amazing Broadway performer from our time in the musical that produces on Broadway. Get those legs up, girl. But there is so much more to this amazing go-getter, hard-working young lady. She's a wife and a mom to twin boys and a little girl, and she's CEO of Angie's Tables, an online company that curates themed tablescapes in a gorgeous keepsake box that you can use time and again and start a collection. It's a company born out of passion, creativity, and the need for special moments around our dinner table. Angie's Tables takes your family celebrations to a whole nother level. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the amazing Angie Kantor.
Oh, thank you, Miss Charlie. What an introduction.
Should we do the routine?
Oh my gosh. We need all the props. We need props.
Oh my God, that song, Angie, gives me goosebumps.
Memories. What wonderful memories those were.
I
know, I'm still like crying.
But that show really like just got to our hearts, didn't it? It was one of those shows.
Yeah,
really.
We're very fortunate to be part of something so special, and it wasn't a job, you know. It really wasn't a job at all. It was fun every single night, and you know, the rotating of our different Leos and Maxes, and that was fresh, and the girls were just, you know, so professional and so mature, and it was fun. It really was fun.
It was one of those shows that you look forward to going to the dressing room because you're going to be surrounded by these amazing women.
Incredible.
You know, I didn't know what to expect. It was my, you know, my Broadway debut. Was it your Broadway debut too?
It was. Yeah, it was.
It's a big deal, isn't it?
What year did you join?
2003, I think.
Did you do the tour first?
No, I did Broadway first, and then I went to LA, and then I went on tour. Yeah,
got it.
But you stayed for about 4 or 5 years, didn't you?
Yeah, I started in 2003. I actually was going to school full time. I moved from Canada 1 month after 9/11 to New York City, and I started at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and so that was in 2001. And then I auditioned in the spring of 2002, and Warren Carlyle kept my headshot. And that fall of 2002, I auditioned, and I was going to school, and you're not supposed to audition at all. And I did, just because I was like, I should get some experience, not thinking I'm going to get a job. I wasn't looking for a job. I moved to New York to be an actor. I danced my whole life at that point. And the so that winter of 2002, they said, we'd like you to start in January of 2003. And I was like, but I'm in school full time. And so I went to school and said, I'm leaving the program. And of course, they were not very happy with me auditioning. I know you're not supposed to. And anyway, long story short, they made an exception. To this day, I'm the only person that they have allowed to go to school full time and then do the Broadway show at night. So it was the busiest time of my life. I was exhausted, but also the most exhilarating. I was like learning, you know, my craft at the Academy all during the day, and then at night or the afternoon from 2 to 6, studying 9 tracks because I came in as the added swing. I didn't replace anyone. They actually created a third track, like a third swing track for me. So I had all my own new costumes and everything. And I would rehearse from 2 to 6, go home, grab a quick dinner, and then watch the show at night to study and learn. And I was living life for 4 months that way. And then I stayed there to the end when the show closed in 2007.
I remember you doing that and going to school during the day. And I remember just being so impressed back then. And then when you went on as a swing, because the swing, everybody you know, you might not know this, but the swing has to be the most talented person probably in the ensemble, because you have to be able to do everything. Sing, dance, act, tap, and cover every single track, not just do your own role. So you're learning all these girls' tracks. Yeah. First Broadway show, and then you went on, and then you were just like amazing. And
well, I was supposed to have 3 weeks rehearsal. I was learning 9 tracks, and I had 6-day rehearsal. 7th day was a day off. I was at school all day, and on that 8th day I came in, and Alexis, our stage manager, walked over in the middle of rehearsal with this look, and we were all like, what is going on? And she said, we're down 4 girls or 3 girls. So both the swings went on, and I had to make my Broadway debut that night. I hadn't even met the cast. I didn't know anyone's name. I didn't get a put in. I didn't get all the stuff that you're supposed to get. But they said I was ready, and I was like, I'm ready. And it was actually covering your track, because it was an Ida track that you would be racing later. So that's why I went on for that night, and she went on for Ula and so forth. So yeah, it was literally thrown into it all, which I think I wouldn't have had it any other way. And it was just magical from then on. And then the movie and all the other things that came with it. So a very special time in our lives for sure.
Doing the movie was amazing, wasn't it?
It was incredible. Again, it was one of those things where filming at 4 o'clock in the morning, or getting up to be there for 4 o'clock. And I went to the theater at 7 p.m. to sit and either be on or not, because I was a swing, get home at 11, sleep for a couple of hours, and get up and do it again. And I was like, I don't care if I'm exhausted. Like, I'm doing a feature film during the day and on the best Broadway show at night. I'm like, this was I just felt, I was in this bubble of just pure joy and never wanted to come out of that bubble. It was magical.
I call it the Stroman bubble of gratitude and happiness.
Yes,
right?
Amen. Amen.
Amen to Susan Stroman for
Amen
changing
to
our
Susan
lives.
Stroman. Yes.
And I had her on the show, and she was amazing and gorgeous as always, and we just love Susan Stroman. But your work ethic has been something that's been sort of, you've had since a childhood, and I think that what's been so amazing with you, because you are such a hard worker. That came from when you were a child growing up in Canada?
Yeah, so I'm a child of 6 children. I have 4 older brothers and a younger brother, and my mom and dad, put us into everything. So I was a swimmer, I was a diver, I was a lifeguard and a swimming instructor, but I also danced. And then every, February for competition season, I would do 13 numbers. And in that 13 were solos and duets and trios and groups on top of school. So yeah, I've always had this ability, and I think it's because my mom put me into so many things that I could juggle. Oh, and I was a ball player. I played basketball all throughout high school. I forgot to mention that.
Good Lord.
And we were the NWASA champs in Ontario for 4 years in a row. We never lost a single game. And I knew for me, look, I just loved dance so much, and I'm from Thunder Bay, Ontario in Canada, a very small town, which I love, but I just wanted to get out. We didn't have technology like this back then. We didn't have the internet to see and explore, but I just knew there was a world that I wanted to dive into and be a part of. And I needed to leave. And dance was what I loved, and I was good at it, and I worked very, very hard. I wasn't a natural dancer. I didn't have natural flexibility or any of those things, but I worked really hard because I wanted it really badly. And that was sort of my ticket out. I remember auditioning, doing a video with VHS cassette. I'm dating myself, if anyone here even knows what that is.
Remember those days?
Yeah, and submitted it and booked my first job at 17 in Prince Edward Island at a company called The Young Company. So I left at 17. I didn't even graduate with my friends. I didn't do the cap and gown. I didn't do a party. I got on a plane and went to work. And I've been working ever since. So yes, I think grooming that way and having always so much seemed normal to me. I feel like when I don't have a lot, that's when I'm really bored and can get into trouble.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're like me though. We probably have never said, and I've never said ever on a day, I'm bored. It's just
there's
something
always something to do. Yeah.
Always something to do. Yeah.
And
I understand it.
And I think being an artist too, which I think is hard for some people to understand the way that we are, because we're not normal creatures. We need to be constantly feeding that plant with water and sun, and it needs to grow. And when you stifle us, we're not healthy people. And so we find these creative outlets, and look what you've created, going from the Broadway stage and movies to your beautiful, amazing company. We are artists. We need to strive. We need to spread our wings and see what is next.
Yes, we can't sit still. And I love that from this amazing career that you've had, because you went on to do other amazing things as well. Angie's Table was born. And I love that you have this beautiful company now. And it's so different being a CEO boss lady, isn't it?
It's terrifying.
I know.
It is. I said to my husband the other day, I was at a girls' event last night. I was saying to a girlfriend, I said, there are moments where I think, being a mom at home is really, it's hard. It's the hardest job ever, but maybe that's just okay, because I feel like we want to do so many things. And yes, I have 3 children under 3, and they're wonderful. And yes, we're busy, and yes, it's chaotic, and all of those wonderful things that come with motherhood. But there's a part of me that needs to connect and needs to be creative. And that's where I started the supper club about 6-7 years ago. Diligently, every quarter we'd get together, and it gave me an opportunity to create these different themes. But I did it as a hobby, you know, and my husband saw how much passion I put into it. For me, it was my outlet when I wasn't working on stage or creating shows, you know, musicals or plays and choreographing or directing. It was my outlet for me at home. But I didn't think it could be a business, and it was just something fun. My husband then came to me and said, okay, I think you should go into party planning and I'll back you. And I said, great. I'll never see you or my family again.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I said, well, you hope you're successful enough that people hire you.
Yeah.
I won't be around to do my own family. And that to me is the most important. And so I just never thought how a business could come from this. And, you know, COVID, as we all know, is really hard and challenging for all of us.
Yeah.
But I'm a see the glass half full person, and I try to find the silver lining in everything. And there was so many beautiful things that came out of COVID, and the level of simplicity in life. You're realizing, what do you really need in life to be happy? And being with my family, luckily my parents were with us and my kids and my husband, I was complete. But what was missing, honestly, was that connection with family and friends. And for me, that was over the dinner table. I was really missing conversing, getting away from my life, a great meal, great wine, conversation, decor. I was missing that, you know, and we all know it was a bit of a Groundhog Day for all of us. So, you know, I feel with Angie's Tables, we can elevate just a little bit. It doesn't have to be, you know, full all out, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like ballroom, black tie. Yeah. But we can elevate our table just a little bit to feel that was really nice. You know, I felt like I got away, and that was really nice. So the idea sort of sprung because a lot of the comments I get when I host something are, how do you do this? Where do you find the ideas? I wouldn't know how to do it. I'm not good at, and I don't know visually how to pull things together, and I just wouldn't know what to do. And people are very overwhelmed and they pull away. Yeah. And during COVID, having time, I realized, I thought, well, what if I just did all the work? Because that is the creative part of me that loves curating. I love pulling and trying different things and taking something I've already used and recycling it and saying, well, maybe I'll do it differently this way and try it this way.
Oh, hold on one second. You've stuck. Hold on. We have a little internet issue. Hold on. Come back. Okay, let's hold tight, everybody. I think Angie's having a little internet issue. Angie, if you can hear, there we go.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Sometimes
can you see me?
Yes, I can see you now. It just stuck for a minute. Sometimes that happens with the internet. If there are lots of people on your internet, you know, it sometimes does that. But you're back. You're back.
So I got a phone call.
Oh, there's that too. Yeah,
my phone rang, but I put everything silent. So I'm like, I don't know why my phone rang. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Don't worry. It happens. It's live. She's back. As Miss Glorious
We're back.
said, she's back.
We're back.
Yeah. So COVID happened, and that gave you the inspiration to start the company, was it, during COVID?
Yeah. So that's when I was like, well, let me just do the work. And so I started pulling numbers. My husband's a finance guy. And so, of course, he's like, I know what you spend on these tablescapes. You can't make this a business. And I proved him wrong, which was always so fun because that's rare to do with him. He's really, really smart, very, very brilliant at what he does.
Very brilliant businessman, yes.
Yeah, and so that's how Angie's Tables came about. And then it was, you know, the logistics of, you talk about being a CEO and juggling and putting it all together and understanding technology.
Because we didn't learn this, did we? As a dancer, that was the one thing I struggled with, was not having a business background.
Right.
And well, how do I do this?
Well, even you know, I look back when I went to high school, and I say this to my husband, the only class, take the English language out of it, but the only class that I benefited, that I use every single day today,